It's me, Stacy Ford with Simply Stacy, a close to my heart consultant, and I am going to be making a quick and simple card today using this stamp set right here. It's called, sorry about that, Remarkable Wreath, and it is C1473. So this is a C size stamp, and again it's C1473, Remarkable Wreath. And this is just a really fun, cute wreath. Comes with a wreath. It comes with 3 banners and a saying "Life is good," a bow, and then 3 different type of layering for your flowers, a damask type pattern, and then dots. All very cute. So, anyways, let's go ahead and get started. What I've done is taking a piece of Colonial White, and I have cut it down to, let's see, 4 inches by 5 inches, and then I've taken a piece of Lagoon cardstock and I have made it into a A2 size card, which means that it is 5.5 by 4.25. Let's see, so it's 8.5 all the way across. Okay, now that will layer on there. We'll do that in just a minute. I've also taken some of the Stella pattern paper and cut out, I've cut out 1-inch strips. So I have 1, 2, 3 in one pattern, and then 2 in another pattern. And what I've done is I have cut them out between 3.25 inches to 3 3/4 inches, so they vary in length. And then I have used Vintage Photo Distressing ink to ink the edges of these. Pretty much everything in my project has these distressed edges on them, okay? And these. And then I've just cut little triangles, snipped them right out of the middle to make them look like pennants, okay? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to line them up to get an idea where I want them on my background here. And I think I'm only going to need the 4. That looks like plenty. And I want to make sure that my length isn't too long. Make sure I did that right. Yeah, that's great. I'm going to trim these 2 pennants just a little bit. I've got them a little bit long. So, real simple and quick here. Do that one more time. Okay. That should get me where we want to be. Let's check. So I'm doing this as I go. Can you tell? Okay, perfect. That's perfect. So now what I'm going to do is I can tell roughly by the dots on, oh yeah, I guess I should tell you, I ran this through my Big Shot with the big polka dots. If you see there, I can tell I have 2 dots on one side and 2 dots on the other side. That's how I'm going to line it up. But if you do not use an embossing folder, or you use one that you can't really tell the dimensions of it, just use a pencil and you can erase your pencil lines later to mark the edges so you can line up your pennants. So now I'm going to take some quick dry adhesive and I'm going to quickly lay them down. Make sure I get on camera here. And a little of this stuff goes a long way. You don't need much. Some, oh, that's not coming out here. You need some, but not a lot. And this stuff dries very quickly, so you want to try to make sure you know when you lay it down that's where you want it. You don't have a whole lot of time to move it around. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp. It looks like stitching, and it's from the stamp set from the Workshop on the Go Stella. The Stella Workshop on the Go. Normally I would use my sewing machine, but unfortunately I can't get that on here, so we're just gonna do it the stamp, and it's really cute. I love the way it turns out. And again, that's from the Workshop on the Go, and it comes with, I know I've shown this before, it comes with this stamp set right here, which is really cute. Okay, just ink that up really good. I'm gonna line it up across the top, and if I have to stamp twice, that's fine. Press down. I want to go about 1/4 of an inch down because I want it to look like I've sewed it on there. And I want it to be continuous all the way across. So if my head gets in the way, sorry, let me line this up. And it's really easy to line up the way they've got this situated. It's relatively easy. There we go. And it looks like I've stitched on it. And I didn't have to lug out that heavy old sewing machine, so I'm not going to complain about that. Okay. And I used the cocoa ink to do that. Now, I'm going to move on to another piece of my project. I have cut out a circle, also out of the Colonial White, using the Art Philosophy Cricut cartridge. And this circle is at 2 3/4. And I'm going to move on to my wreath stamp over here. Put that down. And I'm going to use the cocoa ink again to ink that up. I just like the cocoa ink. It's a great alternative to always using black. If you want something dark but you just don't want it black, it's a beautiful color. It's a go-to one for me here. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this in the center of my circle. Stamp down, press, and release. And that turned out really pretty. Okay. Now I am choosing today the dots that go with this stamp set, but you have flowers and a damask type thing, but I'm going to choose the dots today. And I'm going to use Lagoon ink. Close up my other one before I make a mess, because if I leave ink open, I inevitably stick my entire hand in it every single time. So I have to close it. Well, they're not so bad today, but they're usually pretty inky. That's okay. Just means I love my craft. Okay. So I'm going to ink this up really well. And this is a repetitive stamp. It's a layering stamp that you do twice. Okay, my head's in the way, I'm sorry. Try not to be. Gonna stamp it around. You know, and I found really there's no rhyme or reason. You just stamp it how it looks best to you. Then I'm going to turn my stamp, and I'm going to do that again. Or turn my project, sorry. Get this down on here. Kind of line it up the best I can so I'm not overlapping. And press. There we go. Isn't that pretty? Now, make sure, I'm not doing it right now to save time, but make sure when you do this that you clean your stamps. When I turn the camera off, I'll clean all of mine. Keeping my Lagoon ink out, I have cut out another circle using the Cricut Art Philosophy cartridge at 1.5 inches. I've gone ahead and inked the edges of this one, and I've used, whoops, this stamp right here, Life is Good. Okay, and I've already done that to save time. Maybe if I can get it on there for you. There you go. Life is Good in Lagoon ink as well. So I guess I can go ahead and close that before I land in it. Now, I am going to take a Pop Dot. Actually, it's a foam square is what I have today. I'm going to stick it in the middle. Look, see, I landed in the glue. If it's open, I'm going to get into it. That's just me. And I'm going to stick that little thing right in the center. And it's the same Colonial white. I've used the same Colonial, but with the dimension on there. Just looks really pretty. And I'm going to take, look, see, you can see I messed up. So I'm using my leftovers. You know what, don't be afraid to do that on a card or something. If it's not showing through the other side, nobody's going to know but you. And the truth of the matter is that I want to utilize everything that I can because, well, I'm frugal that way. And it's nice to have it stretch. I'm going to cut this one in half. See? Frugal. There we go. I like these nice big chunky ones. They just seem to give some stability. Now this is going to be a little bit of a high card. If you wanted to send this through the mail, you could forego these Pop Dots and lay them directly onto your card front. But you really need it for this one to give it dimension. But one pop element isn't gonna hurt too bad through the mail. So just be aware. Okay, and I'm just gonna center that right in the middle of my pennants. Maybe. There we go. Ta-da! Okay. And I am going to layer that to my card. Again, I'm using that Scott's adhesive. I'm using a little bit more for this part of it, but don't go crazy because this stuff really does stick well. And you open that up. And take a moment to line it up. Place it down. Oh, see, I got a little crazy with the glue. That's okay, it dries clear. And my pennants are all lined up. Okay, and you know what I'm going to go ahead and do? I'm going to take my Vintage Photo ink and I'm going to go ahead and ink the edges. Just real quick. You can get these sponges through Close to My Heart, and you can quarter it so you get 4 separate sponges. And then what I've done is I've cut out these little tabs. You see that little tab is on the Art Philosophy Cricut cartridge. Cut them out, used the stapled it to my sponge so that I can hold it well, and it makes it, I like it. It's very easy to go ahead and just stretch your edges and ink them up, sponge your edges. There we go. Now, I'm going to take that leftover pennant I had and open up my card, and I'm going to stick it right along the bottom to give the inside of my card a little bit of a decorative element as well. Kind of finish it off, if you will. Do that. Okay. And there you go. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye now.